Dave, fantastic performance today. Some fans saying that's the best of the season. What did you think?
I'm rubbish at winning, to be honest. I just said to the players in there, see you, Rich, take care. They should be bouncing, they should be absolutely buzzing. I suppose it's my job to look at things, reflect and think we've done really, really well, but use it as motivation to kick on and get better. But they've certainly got to enjoy it, because I thought, listen, we had to make some tough decisions at the start of the game in terms of team selection, and probably changed my mind overnight, if I'm honest, in terms of what we went with. But we've got to try and get some momentum going and get ourselves on the front foot in order to get ourselves in the mix. And the team we picked were a credit, and like I say, hopefully the ones that are disappointed to be left out recognise that it was a decision made for the benefit of the team to try and give ourselves the best chance of going and get 3 points. And like I say, I thought they were brilliant.
The tempo of the game was just from the off, wasn't it? From both sides, to be fair, at the early stages, and the atmosphere as well was exactly what we were spoken about yesterday.
Yeah, it was a proper game. We've said it before in terms of, I obviously went to Notts County when I wasn't in the job, and that was in terms of it was a football league match. It was in terms of the atmosphere and things, and today was exactly the same. Fans giving each other stick, supporting their own team, brilliant. You can't ask for any more. And thankfully for us, we've put in a performance that's befitting of that, and given our punters hopefully something to be happy about and look forward to some positivity.
Aidan Keane got his first goal for the club on his home debut this afternoon. Is that the sort of thing we can expect from him, being the fox in the box sort of thing?
Definitely he'll score them types. I've said that before. I think from his perspective, he'll like to score from and can score from distance, but over the course of a season I'd expect he would get 10 from inside the 6-yard box, because he gets himself in those areas, and he's someone that puts himself in the right position. So he'll get people will say the rubbish goals, but when you get 10 of them over the course of a season, it makes a big difference. So for him, as a striker, to get his first goal on his home debut, it doesn't go much better than that.
And the intent that they played with when they came out in the second half, was that something you'd asked of them? Because they came out with the bit really between the teeth.
Listen, we've spoke before. I thought for the first 20 minutes of the second half we were really good in the game. Listen, we won the game then, but the game could have been completely out of sight. We said at half time, we've been there before, 1-0. We've spoken about it when we've been on Coach Journey's back. If you stop the game at half time, we're not a bad team, us. So what we wanted to do was not go out with the mentality that says we're going to try and manage the game and win this game 1-0, because as much as I'd back us to be able to defend, and I want to be able to do that more confidently, you have to look at stats and say we played 30 games and we've conceded 46 goals. Well, we concede at least 1 goal a game, so we've got to make sure we go and manage the game with an intent to go and get the second one and then go and get the third one. And I thought they did that brilliantly. The second goal was a great goal.
It was a brilliant goal.
And beyond that, we could have gone and got more. I'll let them off, if you like, for when teams are making substitutions and changing personnel and changing shape, that we have to be a little bit reactive, and at times you may have to give away a little bit of territory, if you like. But I thought we managed the game really, really well, and they thoroughly deserved to win the game, and 3 points all of a sudden makes things look a whole lot brighter. 2
debutants in the side today. What did you make of their performances? Obviously the fans liked them, and the man of the match for Macaulay coming into his first game. Are you pleased with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's always tough. They've only trained with us. We train with us Thursday, Friday. So for them to go in, I suppose what you would say is ultimately one of them's at a League One club, one's at a Premier League club. So you'd hope that they'd be intelligent enough to recognise what we want to do. Timmy's worked with him before, so it was obviously a help for him, but in different circumstances. I thought Macca was great. I thought Timmy grew into the game. I thought for the first 10 minutes, so as I'd expect, he was a little bit edgy. But beyond that, what they will do is Macca will bomb forward all day and give us a real intent and threat going forward. And when you do that, you leave yourself a little bit exposed at times. Timmy has enough pace to be able to defend high up the pitch. He's really athletic, really quick, and it allows fullbacks to go and do that. And listen, from them, really good debuts, massively promising signs. Hopefully the challenge for them now, as I've said to them afterwards, is to improve on that, and I certainly think they can.
And just finally, I know you're big on your fitness side. You want your side to be athletic and things like that. Brian Honor said in the commentary today, he felt like we just looked fitter than we have done. You know, we've been accused in the past of not being as fit as some of the part-time sides we've come up against. Today, no real question of that. Were you happy with what you saw?
Yeah, absolutely. We fitness is the wrong word in terms of. I'm by no means or any stretch saying the lads are unfit at all. I think it's the intensity you play at, and the modern game is all about intensity. So it doesn't really matter about distance you're covering. If you're covering the distance and plodding around like, I was going to say me or you, but that's probably not the case. I definitely can't. Then it's not really benefiting you as a player, because if lads want to be higher than this, and they all should be motivated to do that, then the requirement further up is to play at an intensity. So we had a tough day Tuesday, really worked them. The pleasing thing for me on Tuesday was that they showed they could do it. They could do it in terms of, we did some prescribed running, which put them into a zone where high intensity wise they're not covering on a match day, so they showed they could do it. So it's now about moving that across and letting that be seen out there on a Saturday. Like I said, I thought we played it, like I said, really good intensity. I want to be on the front foot. I think playing here demands that we're on the front foot, and ultimately this becomes a place where teams become fearful of coming. In order to do that, we've got to be aggressive in how we want to set up and not give up territory to different teams and not let them have possession. Every time they touch the ball, they've got to be under pressure, and if we can be positive in terms of on the front foot attacking wise, and we're getting Aiden running behind, and we're getting Jimmy 1v1 and taking people on and giving the people something to shout about, I know they'll support us, and hopefully they'll be able to support a successful team moving forward.
And just the very last one, I suppose, 3 points outside the playoffs now. We've got to this juncture before over the last 2 or 3 years. How important is it that we keep this little run going?
Of course it is. It's massive. Like I say, at some point, if we're going to get in the playoffs, you have to have it. Hopefully this is the start of it, and we can keep and carry momentum forward through the rest of the season. What we know is that, like I say, aside from Aldershot in a couple of weeks, we're coming up against teams who are above us in the table. All right, Barnet aren't above us, but in essence they are with all the games in hand. So we know we can have a real effect on the teams that are above us, and we want to kick on. Jeff just came in there to say hello and stuff, and we could realistically, I should be stood here in front of you saying we've won our last 4. And if that would have been the case, then we'd be in them playoff positions, and that's how different football can be. We've got to, like I say, build on today. 8 points from the last 4 games is a decent return. If we do that between now and the end of the season, then we'll give ourselves a shot.